stickers or decals. I have 3 red reflective triangles that are properly mounted and secured. They're not crack damaged or broken. I'd place those out if we ever have an emergency. I have a 10 BC rated fire extinguisher that is within the inspection range and it's properly charged, and the arrow is in the green letting me know that it is charged. I also have spare fuses. I have one for each size and type that I have in my fuse panel. My gear shifter, it's in neutral. It's not crack damaged or broken. My selector works. My airline is not leaking. There are no abrasions, bulges, or cuts on it. My brake valves are applied. I hear no audible leaks. They're not damaged or broken. At this time, I would like to safe start my vehicle. It's in neutral. Push in the clutch. Turn the key over. Let my gauges sweep. My ABS light has come on. And it went off. We're going to hear 2 clicks and then I'll start the truck. There's my clicks to let me know my computer is ready for me to start. As I started my truck, my oil pressure must rise within the first 3 to 5 seconds, and it is, so now it's going to steadily rise to operating level. My engine oil temperature is steadily rising to the operation temperature. My water temperature is steadily rising to the proper operating level, range. My tachometer works. My voltmeter works. It's between 12 and 14 volts. I have a half a tank of fuel. My primary and secondary air gauges are currently rising steadily. My air governor is going to kick out or cut off at 125 psi. That will let me know that I have full air in my storage tanks. I have no more than 2 inches of free play in my steering wheel. It is a 20-inch steering wheel. No more. I have a minimum of 2 inches of free play in my clutch. My windows are power. I will show you that they roll up and roll down. My lighting indicators, left turn signal indicator, right turn signal indicator. My high beam indicator works. My 4-way indicator works. My defrost blows out on the top and it blows out on the bottom. My windshield is properly mounted and secured by weather seal that covers 100% of my window. My windshield has no cracks, no illegal stickers, and it's clean, clear, and visible. There are no obstructions on my dash, nothing in my floor that's going to roll around and roll under my feet when we get going. My windshield wipers are properly mounted and secured. They're not crack damaged or broken. The rubber blade is pressed firmly against my windshield. My windshield wipers work, as well as my washers and my wipers are working because it's clearing the solution away. I have a city horn and I have an air horn. They both work. Alright, at this time I'm going to check my parking brakes. I'm going to start with my tractor, so I'm going to push in my trailer brakes, leave my tractor brakes applied, put it in the lowest forward gear, gently tug on it, and make sure my tractor holds. I will now demonstrate. Lowest forward gear, trailer air supply in, tractor brakes applied, slight tug, my tractor brakes hold. Now I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to leave my trailer brake applied. I'm going to release my tractor brakes and make sure that my trailer brakes hold. Lowest forward gear, push in my tractor parking brake, leave my trailer parking brake applied, gently tug out on it. It holds. My parking brakes work as they should. Now I'm going to do a service brake check. I'm gonna release both brakes, put it in the lowest forward gear. I'm gonna drive forward at 5 miles an hour, keeping my hands loosely at the 9 and 3 o'clock positions on the steering wheel. When I push my brakes, I'm also gonna push in my clutch, so that way I do not kill my truck. When I push my brakes, we should not have a delayed braking action, and my truck should not veer to the right or to the left. I will now demonstrate. Lowest forward gear, both brakes in, hands loosely at the 9 and 3 o'clock positions. I'm also verifying that my speedometer works. 5 miles an hour, clutch, brake. We did not have a delayed stopping action. My truck did not veer to the right or the left. Therefore, my service brake works as it should. Also note that my speedometer worked as well. Now I'm going to let my air tank build back up to 125 psi. When my governor kicks out, then we will conduct my air leak down check. My air governor just kicked out. I'm now going to start my air leak down check. Put my truck in the lowest forward gear, turn my ignition off, wait until my truck is completely shut off, then I'm going to release my clutch. There are 3 steps to doing my air leak down test. I'm going to turn my key back to the on position, that way I have my warning light and buzzer. When I start my test, I'm going to push in both of my brake valves. I'm going to need you to time me for 1 minute, please. When you're ready to time me, I will apply my brake pedal 3/4 of the way down. I will hold steady, firm pressure for 1 minute. And after that minute is up, we should not lose more than 4 psi within that minute after our initial drop. From there, I will fan my brakes down to between 70 and 60 psi, at which time I should have an audible warning buzzer and a red light on my air pressure gauge indicator here that lets me know that I have low air. I will stop and verify that it is working correctly. Then I will continue to fan my brakes until I get between 40 and 20 psi, at which time my spring brakes should activate and my valves should pop out. So whenever you're ready, sir, I would like for you to time me for 1 minute. Cough, cough. 1 minute, please. Right. Thank you. So I'm going to release both of my brakes, and I'm going to hold my service brake down for 1 minute. Again, we should not lose more than 4 psi because we are in a combination vehicle.
All right, time's up.
We did not lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute. Now I'm going to continue my brake check, air leak down check, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to fan my service brakes down until I get between 70 and 60 psi, at which point my warning light and buzzer are going to activate. I'm at 60 psi. My warning light and buzzer came on when it was supposed to, between 60 and 70. So that is good. Now I'm going to continue to fan my service brakes until I get between 40 and 60 psi, at which time my spring brakes are going to activate and my valves are going to pop out. Both of my brake valves have popped out. My spring brakes are activated. I'm between 20 and 40. That was a good test. Now I'm going to safe start my vehicle, push in my clutch, ensure that I am in neutral, start my truck, and build back air pressure until my air governor kicks off at 125 psi. in the range of 60 to 70. My warning light and buzzer has went off. I'm going to continue to rev my motor until I reach 125 psi when my air governor kicks out. While we're waiting on that, I forgot to tell you that my radio is preset to 95.9 classical light rock music for our drive today. Also, I have an air horn and a city horn. They both work properly. My air governor just kicked off. We're at 125 psi. That will conclude my in-cab inspection.